So as we talk about this team and we talk about growth, growth has a major impact on culture, positive and negative. And I want to talk about this because we hear from a lot of teams, there's just kind of this point, and usually it's around 10 to 15 agents where, as you're growing, the agents start to say, oh, it's getting so big. It just doesn't feel like the same family feel now. And the culture's changed. And, but I love what you said, because I think a big part of that is, these new agents come on, they start having success. The new agents start getting a little uncomfortable, right? Or, the ones that have been around a while, they start getting a little uncomfortable, realizing that, hey, wait a minute. This might just, the fact might be that it's my effort that's causing me to not be successful. Maybe I can't blame it on the team. Maybe I actually have to take responsibility and start putting forth the effort these new guys are putting forth. So that has a major impact on culture. But just talk to us about culture for a minute, because, as I'm hearing you talk, I really feel like, man, what a great culture you've probably got on that team. And I really believe that culture can attract and retain the right people. But how are you managing culture? How are you enhancing that culture and making sure that you stay the type of culture you want to be?
Yeah, so I mean, culture is a word that gets pushed around a lot in the real estate industry, and a lot of people don't really understand. And I think it starts with the mindset of the team leader, why they started the team to begin with. Like I was saying before, like a lot of them start the team because they want to make more money, or they think there is going to call them to make more money.
Mhm.
Actually, it's really the opposite. Team, like I was definitely making way more money when I was a solo agent than I was now, being a team leader. But when you have the right mindset of like, okay, now I really want to try to help as many people as possible that come to the team. And then you really come from that place of, I want to see these people succeed. I want to add as much value to them. And on top of that, like it's got a mutual feeling as well from their sides, because they will feel it as well. They know that we care and we try to put all this value, and that helps build the culture. So we do things together. Just like we do client events, we do team events. That also helps build the culture. We try to do office activities such as call nights, such as team meetings, where they all participate. And we try to engage with listening to each other's calls during, sometimes on a huddle or on the meetings as well. But not just that, it's and just this is a conversation that we had the other day too, is as it grows, we want to have the team members or the team partners that are very involved in the culture also become squad leaders, because
Mhm.
this will also bring the culture together. So this way it doesn't feel like it's getting too big and then they're not getting as much attention as they need. And I think this is also a game changer, because a lot of people don't have that structure in place, where if they do get too big, the team members, they will not feel like they're still in that smaller group setting, because the team is outgrown them. Like when they started, let's call it, there were 7 people. Now it's doubled in like less than a month. Like they're gonna feel that we're not bringing them the attention that they need. But when we divided them into squads, now I feel like they're still connected. We're still all talking to each other, and they feel like they're a part of something.
Absolutely. And that's a big deal. People need to feel like they're a part of something, and that provides a level of security and safety, as well as guidance on how do I grow? How do I get where I want to go in my career? And it's easier to know that when you've got somebody, as an example, your squad leader, who is just a little bit ahead of you in their career. And you get to see, hey, they were where I'm at last year. I can be where they're at next year. And then who knows where from there, right? That's a powerful thing. It's interesting. I think a lot of people, you talked about the profitability being lower now than it was when you were a solo agent. This is a common concern I hear from a lot of listing agents, or excuse me, a lot of team leaders. And I want to go a little bit deeper on that. Because in tier one, when people, 0 to 25 transactions a year, when you're a solo agent, that's, you can be very profitable. The problem is that it's all you all the time, and it's a grind. I mean, it is an absolute grind, right? Because you're doing everything. And then you get into tier two and you think, okay, well, I'm going to start building the team now. And I'm doing 25 to 75 transactions a year. And as I build my team, I've got to not only do my own lead generation, I got to provide tools, technology, systems, support, staff, all of that. For me, now I've got to do that for these other people, and I've got to go spend time, effort, and energy and money recruiting, hiring, and training those people. All of these things take time away from my productivity, which makes it so that I'm working twice as hard for less money in tier two and even into early tier three, and tier three being 75 to 150 transactions a year. I bring this up because it's very common for people to burn out in tier two. It's very common for people to get there and just say, you know what, I'm just going to go back to being a solo agent. And it breaks my heart because they haven't given themselves enough time to experience what it can be like. And what I mean by that is when you get into tier four, and that's 150 to 250 transactions a year. You've got a team, you're 15 to 25 team members at that point. And granted, that's different than being just a real estate agent selling houses, right? Now you're an administrator. Now you're a leader. Now you've got a lot more responsibility than you had as just a real estate agent, and it's a different job, right? It's different. So I bring this up to simply say that you are at the point right now where you can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? So are you seeing a time where as you continue your growth rate and your growth pattern, that you are likely to make more money than you're making today with less effort? Or are you just relegating yourself to saying, you know what, I'm just never going to make as much as I made as a solo agent? Like, where are you at on that bell curve?
Yeah, I think I still have some way to go to reach that. But it did take a lot of investment into between time and money. And just I'll fully transparent. I wanted to quit building a team or actually, not have a team altogether multiple times from the time that I had a team till now. And mainly because it was just frustrating. I had bad team members prior, and it was just a horrible experience overall. I felt like they were not seeing the value that we're putting in, and then some of them just became cancerous, where it kind of caused the team to break down, and it wasn't very fulfilling. And for you going through that, or any team leader going through that, or if you haven't gone through that, more than likely you will go through it at one point. But just like you said, you got to be patient. You got to keep putting in the work, because it's not easy. Like, you have to have that vision in mind of where you want to go. But I do feel like it's coming. I'm probably hopefully a year or two out from that. But it starts with building and having the right systems and tools and the guidance, right? So, and that's why it's easier to be in a setting where somebody has done it before, such as, obviously the coaching that you guys do, and surrounded by so many people that have done it before, that they can pretty much take you there step by step and give you the right systems and tools to do it.
Club Wealth is the only coaching company on the planet that will literally guarantee that you will double your income or make at least an extra $100,000 your first year coaching with us, or we will give you 100% of your investment back. Click the link below, sign up for the appropriate tier level, and let's get you a strategy session today. And I promise you, I 100% guarantee you, promise you that you will walk away with a heart full of gratitude for the time that we took for you, because you got so much value out of that call. Schedule your strategy session today. I promise you'll be glad you did.